Hey guys, Hydrolytes here, and welcome to a brand new video. And today's video will actually be going over the 65th anniversary of Godzilla. Yep, it's his birthday today, November 3rd, 2019. 65 years of madness. So, yeah, come a long way for Godzilla. So, why not today I talk about my favorite figures of G-Fest. Now, I intended to do this video for quite a while, but I just didn't get to it. So, yeah, so, let me just go over the rules really quickly. Those rules are that, okay, so the first rule is, I'm going to be picking two figures from each year. So, let's say 2015, I pick a figure, and I pick which one I like, which one is my second favorite, and which one is my first favorite. The reason why I'm picking two is because, honestly, there were so many good figures that I just had to pick two. So, yeah, I mean, the other thing is, it's my point of view, so, I mean, there's a figure in here you're probably not gonna like, but I do, so, I mean, if you want to post your own, favorite figures, go on ahead, do it. But anyway, yeah, so this will be my top two figures from each G-Fest. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So the first year that I've gone to G-Fest was 2013. So in 2013, let's show off the two figures I have, and the first one that I have is the YMSF Megalon. Now, you may notice that this one is a little bit different. Or I'll probably show some pictures, probably right now. So, this Megalon figure right here is actually part of the Paint Your Own Figure, in which YMSF, they would give the staff some unpainted figures, and we got to paint them. So I got to paint mine. I believe the fee that you had to pay was about $20, I think. Which honestly, for a Megalon figure like this, can't beat it. Honestly, this is probably one of the best figures out there of Megalon that you could get. That's in a 6-inch line, if not the best Megalon figure you could get. So, yeah, but only this right here, this is going for $150 or even more than that nowadays, and I managed to get it for $20 back in 2013. Managed to even paint it myself, which I think I did an alright job of it. I mean, it was 2013, I was not the best at painting. So yeah, YMSF Megalon is one of them. So let's put it right here, and let's bring out the second figure, and it is the Toho Kaiju series Godzilla 2000. I'm not going to get out his tag or any of the tags because I really just don't feel like it. But anyway, reason why this is one of my favorites. Now, there were two others that I was going to pick, and the other one was going to be the Bandai Titanosaurus and the Heisei Godzilla that I got. It was the original Godzilla Island series. I'm not entirely sure, but anyway. But this is the Toho Kaiju series Godzilla 2000. And this was actually the first figure that I got at G-Fest. That's why it holds such a... that's why I really love this figure. Now, actually, this was not actually in the dealer's room. Funnily enough, I actually got this at a raffle when G-Fest was starting. And I believe the ticket to get in the raffle was about $20. So I got this guy for $20 with the tag. He was almost brand new. I mean, over time it's gonna wear off, but you know what? I really love this figure. It was my first figure of G-Fest. So then. So which one do I like? So which one is second place and which one is first place? So, I have to give first place to the Toho Kaiju series Godzilla. Not only because it was my first, but I really love the sculpt of it. It's very, very good. This is a very close second. I mean, the YMSF sculpt is fantastic. I mean, I painted myself, so I'm going to have a little bit more sentimental value. But, so Godzilla is my number one figure of G-Fest 2015, with Megalon being the second. So, I mean, this was a very close tie. But I mean, like, it was also a little bit obvious because this was my first figure of G-Fest. So, two great figures right here. Definitely great. Alright, so for my second year, which was 2014. So 2014 was, I think it was the most expensive. I'm not entirely sure, but it was definitely one of the more memorable ones. So let's get out one of the contenders already, and this guy is huge, so I'm going to move back a little, and he is Grand King Ghidorah. Yep, Grand King Ghidorah for $100 with the box too. Funny story with this one is that I actually managed to get this thing on the plane with the box. And it's funny because the box was like there, and I was just putting it through the scanner, and they didn't charge for it, and I managed to actually get on the plane without charge. So very cool there that I actually managed to get this on the plane. So that's one thing I actually kind of find funny, is that I managed to get this thing on the plane. I mean, like, yeah, sure, I put other figures in there, but I mean, either way. But other than that, like, the sculpt on it is absolutely gorgeous. The paint on it is also, like, I think it's not accurate to the actual suit, but it definitely looks great. Like, the gold here just reflects off very nicely, and has a lot of points of articulation. I think it's a contender for the most articulation a figure could have, or vinyl at least. It's definitely one of the best Ghidorah figures, honestly. So definitely a great figure right here. Very grand, if you prefer. Put it right there for just a second as we get to the next figure, and it is probably one of my more fun figures to play with, and that is the Total Kaiju series Orga. Now, this is one that I'm actually not too proud of, for the price at least. I paid $80 for this. Yeah. I think I was a little bit of a fool, but I was just desperate for an Orga, so I just got my hands on one that was $80 because, yeah, I mean, it came with the tag, but again, I'm just not going to get the tag out because I just kind of, it's very late at night, and I kind of want to just go ahead and do this because I'm wanting to do it, so might as well do it while I get the chance to. Maybe, but I really like this figure because the detail on it is also really nice. Because it's really nice sculpt, and the paint job is good for what's there. I mean, like, the silver in the back is very nice. The blue on his head, very, very cool and reminiscent of the movie. Although I did add a little bit of Sharpie to his eye. I don't know if you could see that, but yeah, but I did add a little bit of Sharpie to his eye. I don't know if you could see in the fan film I did, but yeah, there's a little bit of Sharpie. But also, here's one of the reasons why he's one of my favorites. Can you all go do this? He can spin at the elbows. Can you all go do this? Can he? No challengers? No? Alright. So let's see who is number one. So, which was number one here? As much as I really wanted it to be Orga, it's Grand King Ghidorah. That's the first. I really love Orga. Like, that's the thing. I love this figure to death. I like how I managed to get the elbows to work and articulate. But I just can't beat the you just can't beat the sheer size, the sheer, like, or just the overall, like, sculpt of this thing. This thing is very well sculpted, but this thing is especially better sculpted too. And it has a better paint job, and it's a gorgeous figure. And yeah, so while this is number two, now while this is number one and this is number two, these are two great figures to have. So while Grand King Ghidorah is number one, Orga is a very, like, close figure to my heart. So yeah, there we go. So my favorite figure of 2014 was Grand King Ghidorah, and my second favorite figure was Orga. Two great figures right here. Alright, so 2015. So 2015 was a big year for me. This was the year that I actually won the Godzilla Unleashed tournament, and actually, now I would have put this guy on the list because this was the figure I won for winning the tournament, but I already have the figure for one thing, and while he is like valuable with the tag and such, I feel like putting him on here would just be a little bit too easy. So yeah, while okay, now while I won't say that he's a bad figure, he's definitely a great figure, like for sure, and he holds a special place in my heart. And I mean, like, he's right there on that shelf where he's on, like, that shelf over there. That's like those are the figures that are most valuable to me. So just keep it in mind that I want this figure, and while I cherish him, he's not going to be on the top 2 list. So I just wanted to point that out in case you like see him in a photo. So yeah. Okay, now let's move on to the number 2s. So the first figure that we're going to get out is the Chokogen Gigan. Now this figure was originally one of my guilty pleasures. Like, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. But over time, as I was beginning to like really play with it, this thing's freaking awesome. Like, this thing is legitimately awesome to play with. Like, I mean, like, yeah, sure, it's not your Monster Arts or whatever. At least this thing has like freaking like die-cast freaking chainsaws here. You know the Monster Arts chainsaw guy again? These little blades here? These are die-cast. Those are rubber. Don't believe me? Well, you can go watch the Geek Chest. They have the chainsaw guy again, and if you look at it, it's freaking rubber. While this is freaking die-cast, baby. And this thing is just, oh my god, he's just so good. And he's probably my favorite Gigan figure too. And I mean, like, changing him is not like hard at all. Like, it's very freaking easy to do. I mean, like, sometimes I'm even like playing with the normal version of it, and I actually really like the normal version of it too. Now, appearance-wise, he may look a little bit clunky and such, but it's more accurate to the suit. And while accuracy, like not many others, think that it's important, if you want an accurate suit that's like 6-inch, here you go. Chokogen Gigan will fit your bill. I'm going to place them over here. But also, one more thing. I have his accessories right here. I can just fit them in a little pouch. Beats. I know people don't like beats, but I mean the ones that I took care of, they've been lasting me for a while, so there we go. Gonna place it right there. Alright, so then the next figure, or the last figure I guess, number 2, the second figure is probably my favorite female monster of all time. And I don't care if people call Mothra the Queen of Monsters, I think this is the true Queen of the Monsters. Who is it? Well, I mean, I did get 2 female kaiju, but which one did I put in here? Well, as much as people love the other female kaiju, Queen of the Meganula, baby. This is the theater exclusive Megaguirus. Megaguirus right here is one of my favorite monsters for one thing. I don't know if you guys seen my list, but she was number 3 excluding Godzilla. Like, she is number 3 for me, and she's my favorite. Now, she's my favorite female kaiju, and I do intend to get the normal version, but for now, this one right here, I love the sculpt. Like, for one thing, I like how slick she looks. I mean, like, overall, like, she has decent articulation. Like, And like the wings can move, that's fine. And the arms can also move. And each of the legs can move just fine. Also the head can move too, so. Yeah, if you ever want to have a creepy Megaguirus, there you go. So yeah. So which one is my favorite? Choking Gigan versus the day exclusive Megaguirus. So this was a tough, close call, but I'm choosing the Chokugen Gigan. Megaguirus is a close tie because she's my favorite female kaiju, and I do like the figure, but I love the Chokugen Gigan and how awesome it is. Like, this is an awesome figure right here, and I mean, like, yeah, sure, the Monster Arts is good too, but this right here, I feel like is just better. And I've seen the Monster Arts in the flesh, and I like this better. I like it a lot better. And while I love Megaguirus, and I do hope to get the regular version one day, this is my favorite figure of 2015. And probably my favorite Gigan figure too, and that's why he's also up there with my favorite, of the figures that I hold closest to my heart. So these two are my favorite figures of 2015. Now on to 2017. I had to skip 2016 because, well, family matters. I had to go to a wedding. There we go. So I had to skip 2016, and I lost my championship title because I just was not there, and I had to reclaim it in 2017. Now, 2017 was actually the year I got the least amount of figures, but I think it was one of my more expensive ones. My most expensive years, because I got some pretty, pretty pricey figures, for my favorites, and these two are actually my most expensive figures, like, in the entire collection. Like, these are the bar maximum that I can pay for a figure, because I don't want to pay more than $150. Like, I don't want to freaking pay like $175 just for a figure. Monster Arts King Ghidorah 2019, talking to you. Freaking falling over like 24 seconds without your stance. Sorry. But anyway. But I actually did get a Monster Arts in 2017, and you're about to see it right now. So, let's actually go ahead and get started with this. So, the first one I just mentioned, Monster Arts, and it is the Super Mechagodzilla. Oh yeah. I got my favorite Mechagodzilla in this form, which is the Super form. Super Mechagodzilla. Now, I know some people don't like Heisei Mechagodzilla. That's okay. But for me, Heisei Mechagodzilla is my favorite Mechagodzilla. Kiryu is okay. And Mechagodzilla Showa, he's classic. But Heisei Mechagodzilla, I love more. And I mean, like, it's Monster Arts, it's gonna be great, and I mean, like, the sculpt is great, and I really do like it. Now I prefer it to be a display piece, not more like a pose ability, where like I get to pose them in like these crazy freaking poses. Which, yeah, Monster Arts is cool about that, but I kind of like it to be like in a stance where I'm gonna keep them like this. Like right here, like he's more in a crouch position as opposed to like when he's like upright. If he didn't have the Garuda, that's because it's a little bit hefty. But it's a really good figure. I actually really do like it, and this one was $115, so pretty freaking expensive right there. And so yeah. And I kept this on, the Plasma Grenade, because I just like it like that better. So, yeah. Super Mechagodzilla, favorite Mechagodzilla, and I like how he's shiny too. So, yeah. And for the second figure, it's gonna be the Memorial Box 1984 Godzilla. Oh yeah, the Memorial Box 84. Now this one is the most expensive at $120. Now, tell you the truth, I couldn't find this guy for so many years for less than 185. I'm not kidding. 185, but I managed to find it for only 120. 60 less than I would have gotten it for. And I mean, like, did I pay a little bit more? Sure. But you know what? Look at this. Look at this fantastic detail on it. Now then, which one do I like more? Super Mechagodzilla? Super Mechagodzilla or 1984 Memorial Box? This was especially close. Now, in some cases I like Super Mechagodzilla more because this is my favorite incarnation of Mechagodzilla. But at the same time, the Memorial Box Godzilla is one of my favorite incarnations, and it's probably one of the more rare figures. So, I have to pick the 84 as my favorite figure of 2017. I love Super Mechagodzilla, but I mean, like, the longevity of it is not gonna be, I don't think, too like long. But I mean, like, this is why I like the vinyls a little bit more, is that they can last longer, I think. This can last pretty long too, but probably not as long, so. But I mean, like, I just like this a little bit better than this. But that's not to say that these two, or Super Mechagodzilla is not good, because I love Super Mechagodzilla right here, and I'm proud to have it in my collection. So, these two are my favorite figures of 2017. My two most expensive figures in my collection right now. Oh, and by the way, in 2017, I actually did get my my title back, so there we go. The prizes I got were not too big. I think I got to pick an Ultraman monster and 2 larvas, I think. So yeah, that was what I want for 2017. Okay, so 2018. Yeah, so this was the year that I actually, like, this was like the first time in a while that I actually lost a Godzilla Unleashed tournament. So a little bit of a sadder time for me, but it's okay. I dealt with it. So anyway, let's actually go over the ones that, or the 2 figures that I actually like. So let's get out the first one, and the first one I'm going to show is the Bandai Movie Monsters Mech King Ghidorah. This one was actually a more recent one, and it was released in, well, 2018. Now, I actually really like this figure because I like how it's very shiny. Like, this one is especially shiny. I also modified it too, in which, I don't know if you could see it, but let me see if I can, like, I don't know if you can actually see it or not, but I actually painted the tongues. Don't know if you can actually see it, but I did paint the tongues red. Right there. See it? And I also painted this thing green. I also painted these red too. His neck. So yeah. And one back. Alright. So yeah, but I really like this figure, and I mean, like, I like the Mecha King Ghidorah I got back in 2013, but I was in need for an upgrade, and now that I customized him a little bit, I actually really like this figure too. Like, I could have chosen Aggregate Destroyer over this one, but I mean, like, I was kind of wanting something a little bit, like, less, I guess less predictable, because the Aggregate Destroyer is great, but I kind of like this a little bit better. So Mecha King Ghidorah 2018 is a great one. I actually really like this one. Alrighty, so if you've been on my channel long enough, you may know which one is going to come out next, and it is the Bandai 8, and this is a big one, and it is the Kaiser Ghidorah. Oh yeah, Kaiser Ghidorah. No, yeah, and I got the Mecha King Ghidorah for like $35, I think. 35, somewhere around there. So this one, now okay, I'm gonna let you guys guess. If you haven't watched my collection update, I want you guys to guess. How much do you think this was? I'm going to list the options right over here. Try and guess in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you want to pause the video, go ahead and do it. And you're unpaused. There we go. So you may know already, and it is $85. Got this guy for $85. Now, okay, it may seem like, oh, okay, you got it for $84, big deal. Well, again, I have a little bit of a story with this one. I'm gonna put it shortly. I ran out of money, or not really ran out of money, but I was short on money on getting on a Kaiser that I was originally gonna get for $100. I think there was a tag with it, but I'm not entirely sure. But in short, the key wasn't working, and I had only $85. And right there, this guy was just recently put on, and I got him for $85. He was priced at $85, so that was very cool and very lucky on my part. So the fact that I got this for $85, and the fact that I got this magnificent figure for $85, and yeah, I had to put a jungle on him, as you can see, to put his feet together, because they were spreading out a little too much while I was on the cruise. Because I actually had to take this guy on the cruise, so I had to take him apart. So yeah. But overall, like, this is one of my favorites for $85. Now, contest here is a little bit one-sided. Sorry, Mecha you're my favorite, but Kaiser Ghidorah is probably my favorite figure of 2018. This one was probably, could have been number 3, but I just like it. So, yeah. Kaiser Ghidorah is my number 1. Mecha Ghidorah is my number 2. These are my 2 favorite figures from G-Fest 2018. So, 2019. This is, well, the year I'm making this. So, this year I won back my title, again. And this year was actually, like, the least expensive. Now, I say least expensive as in I had to pay, like the most I paid for a figure was actually $50. And it's actually one of them. But before I get to my number 1 and number 2, I actually wanted to get out a 3rd and a 4th. Because I couldn't pick which one to choose as my, let alone my number 2 or my number 1. I was originally going to call it a tie because I love all 4 of these figures so much. So let me actually go ahead and get them out. And first one I'm going to start off with is the Movie Monsters Space Godzilla. And as you can see, I painted his tail, so it's white. But yeah, but overall, I've said it before in my review, this thing is so good. This is one of the best Movie Monster series Godzilla, or just one of the best vinyls, or the best Space Godzilla vinyl that we've gotten thus far. The paint is consistent. The sculpt as well is great on this figure. I mean, like, yeah, sure, the tail wasn't painted, but I mean, like, I did it just fine. And so, yeah, this figure is just one of the best that we've gotten. Probably the best we've gotten for a while. So overall, this Space Godzilla figure is just fan-freaking-tastic. Definitely it was a contender for number 2 and number 1. So definitely gotta give props to this thing. So this one is actually a little bit more of a special connection, and it is the Bandai 1991 King Ghidorah. Now, this one was originally going to be number 2, but I kind of like the number 2 that I picked better. So, King Ghidorah here was $40. Now, maybe a little bit much, but the horns are near perfect condition, or just perfect condition in general. You know, like, I like the figure and how he glistens. Like, he has a very nice glisten to him that I actually really like. I don't know if you can see in the camera, but I like the glisten that he has, like, right here that I'm seeing. And I really like the sculpt, too, of this thing. Like, I really do like it. So, Heisei Ghidorah, the 8-inch one, is definitely one that I really like, too. Alright, so now it's time to get to the number 1 and the number 2. And let me pull out the first figure, and that is the Bandai Showa King Ghidorah. Now, upon further research, this one is actually the 89 version, which is, I believe it's a Shoshone Monsters version, which I think that was a little bit rare. So I actually got a rare version for $40 actually. Got a Showa Ghidorah for $40, and that's something you don't see every day, is a Showa Ghidorah for 80, or excuse me, not 80, but $40. I mean, like, the sculpt is great here. Like, there's nothing broken at all. Maybe the paint's a little bit worn out, but I mean, like, pretty much this thing is in near mint condition for $40. And I mean, like, there was no tag, but you know what? It's whatever at this point. I'm just glad to have a Showa Ghidorah for $40 too, and you can't beat that for $40. And then finally, the last figure that we're gonna introduce is the 8-inch 1995 Destroyer. Yep, I put this thing on here, and he still has his tag on. So I got this guy for $50. Now, that may seem a little bit much for this figure, but considering the fact that I couldn't find this thing ever since 2015 when I started looking for him, Tag-less figures of this thing were $150. I got this thing for $50. It was almost brand new too. So you know what? I like this guy. I really like the sculpt of him. Yeah, the wings are a bit of a downer, but you know what? I don't care. I like the sculpt of this thing a lot. So then, again, like I said, 2019 was super close. Like, I love the figures that I got this year, and picking a favorite here is just, I mean, it was kind of like picking a child at this point. So which one do I like more? Is it Showa Ghidorah, or is it the 8-inch Destroyer? After a very hard decision, the 8-inch Destroyer is probably my favorite of 2018 or 2019. Showa Ghidorah was a very close second. Very freaking close. Honestly, I probably would have tied all four if I could, but I had to choose one, and the 8-inch Destroyer is probably my favorite one, with Showa Ghidorah being number 2. So these two are my favorite figures. I could even say that the 4 that I just showed for 2019 are probably my favorite figures of 2019. And so that's it for this list. So I'm going to actually go over a quick recap of the first and second one. So, number 1 of 2013 was the Toho Kaiju series Godzilla, and then number 2 was the YMSF Megalon. Number 1, number 2. And number 1 of 2014 was Grand King Ghidorah, and number 2 was Orga. Number 1, number 2. And then my number 1 of 2015 was Chokugen Gigan, and then my number 2 was the theater exclusive Megaguirus. Number 1, number 2. And my number 1 of 2017 is Memorial Box Godzilla 84. And then my number 2 is Super Mech Godzilla, the Monstars version. Number 1, number 2. And then 2018 is Kaiser Ghidorah. And number 2 is Mecha King Ghidorah from the Movie Monster series in 2018. So, first place, second place. And so, the first place of 2019 is the 8-inch Destroyer. Number 2 is the Showa King Ghidorah. First place, second place. There we go. That is my favorite figures of G-Fest. Now, will I ever pick a determined favorite? No. Like, I could pick a favorite a year, but for all time, probably not. At least not yet. I'm not ready to do that yet, so maybe in the near future. But for right now, that is my list. And you know what? Maybe if you want to go ahead and do it, like, I would actually like to know what's your favorite figure from each year G-Fest. Yeah, I mean, it could be number 1, or it could be just your favorite figure, your top 2, your top 3. Go for it. Like, pick your favorites of G-Fest, and I would like to see it. So that's it for my top 2 figures of G-Fest. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and happy birthday to Godzilla. Happy 65th anniversary. I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.